Hey, Mom. I just went and handed in yours and Dad's divorce papers. Grab all your things and get out of the house now.
What? You handed in our divorce papers?
I had a lot of time on my hands today, so I wanted to do something fun, and that's when I remembered something. And that something happened to be yours and Dad's divorce papers. So I went and took them to the courthouse.
That's your reasoning? What were you thinking, taking your own parents' divorce papers and handing them in like that, Zara?
Huh? What's with that attitude? Are you actually going to get mad at me now? You could never get mad at me.
What?
You're so weak that you'd never be able to get mad at your own daughter. And that's what makes you such a sad woman, and one who will never be seen as anything else in her daughter's eyes. You're supposed to be my mom, and yet you're the one who's afraid of me. How depressing, right?
That's because...
And now you're starting to freak out again because your daughter is giving it to you. Well, you need to stop freaking out, all right? I've already been skipping school all I've wanted. I got my hair dyed pink, as well as hung out with all those older boys. Give it up, you useless woman. You're not some kind of mother figure to me after letting me get away with doing all that crap.
You only have one mother, Zara, and that's me. But the fact that you were always throwing temper tantrums anytime I tried to work with you, and because you would always call me disgusting while out with your bad friends, and because you would even chase after me with all of those older friends of yours, I sometimes don't even want to be your mother.
I laughed so hard back when we did that to you. You are still so scared of us now that every time I see you, you look like you're going to cry. Maybe we were being a little too rough on you then.
Hey, Zara. What turned you into such a brat like that? Right now, you're never going to any of your classes anymore, even though that was the school you tried so hard to get into before.
Shut it, Mom. There's no point in me going to a private school like that anymore. I've tried all I could there to do well, but no matter how much I tried, my grades never went up. I'm getting tired of going there now. Who cares about studying all that crap anyway?
Are you kidding me?
Also, the friends that I have right now taught me all I need to know. They made it very clear to me that you don't need to go to school to have a good life. If anything, spending so much of your life studying is a waste of time and energy.
That's not the truth, though. Zara, when you were younger, didn't you want to become a doctor? If you put your time and effort into studying right now, you will be able to become a very respectable doctor.
The only reason I wanted to become a doctor was to get all that money, but I figured things out now. I have a father who is working for a very large company in a very high-up position. As long as I have Dad around, I don't need to be making any money, right? In other words, there's no point in me wasting my time studying and working.
What? Are you wanting to become some kind of jobless loser now?
As long as I have Dad's money, why should I have to go out and work? There's no point to that. Yet every day you've been pestering me about going to school and studying for college. You're getting in the way of my happiness, so I want you out of my life now. And that's the reason why I'm having you and Dad divorced.
You can't be asking me to leave your life just because of that. I need to go to the courthouse right now and ask them to end the process of having us divorced. And then I'm going to have a word with your dad about this, and we'll see what has to be done with you. The three of us will sit down and have a long talk about what needs to happen with you, so that you don't end up like some jobless freeloader. If you don't want to study anymore, we can find something else for you to do with your time that will benefit you.
There's no point in talking to Dad now. Dad was the one who told me he wanted this divorce.
What?
I told Dad that I went and handed in those divorce papers for you both, and what do you think he said to that? You don't need some woman in your life that could never raise you properly, so this is perfect for the both of us.
No way. Your dad said that after you texted him?
And then he told me something. In order to keep you out of the police's hands, do what you want, but leave me out of it. Surprisingly, Dad is a very understanding man. So now that you're aware of things, I want you, a woman like you who can't even understand me, out of here. We don't need you in this family anymore.
If that's how things are going to be, then I'll go. Neither of you think of me as being important, so I'll leave. That's the only option I really have now. I'll go get my things together now and be out of this house as quick as possible.
Marie, I'm so happy to be in your family now.
And I'm so happy to have you as my daughter now. But are you really okay with me being your new mom? I am still a little nervous about becoming a part of your family now.
Hey, you don't have to be so nervous about us anymore. My dad and I both really want you to be our family now, so please stay with us. We would never want you to be on your own again. Unless this means you don't want to become part of our family?
That's not what I mean. Your dad is a very nice man, and you were such a cute daughter to me. So when you both said you wanted to become a part of my family forever, I was almost crying tears of joy at the news.
Then you can stop questioning how my dad and I feel about you and be our family now. You already married my dad, so you can't be anything else but our family.
That's very true, Michaela. Then please, take very good care of me as your new mom, alright?
I will. I want you to know that I really respect the person you are, Marie. Not only is your cooking the best, but you also bake some of the best cakes. And that's not all I respect about you, because you also happen to work full-time while catering to us. When I become an adult and don't have to go to school anymore, I want to become a woman and mother like you.
You don't have to praise me so much like that, Michaela. I'm not as amazing as you might think I am. So please, don't feel like you need to respect me that much just yet.
Please don't talk about yourself like that. I've already heard everything from my dad about you. You're currently making more money than he is every year. You've also been getting promoted and things like that a lot more often than my dad has. You're such a cool role model for me.
All of those things are just coincidences. Everyone within the company is so very kind to me, and they're always talking to my higher-ups about how good of an employee I am. There are plenty of people that I work with who are far better than me, yet they always make it seem like I'm the one who needs the promotions.
And when it comes to the house, you're such a cleaning machine. It's almost like you've worked as a housemaid or something like that before. But those are all the reasons why I really love you, Marie. Now, since today is the anniversary of when you first met my dad, let's all eat some really fancy food. I'll make sure to come and join you in the kitchen today to help out.
Thank you so much, Michaela. I think today I'll start working on making some of your most favorite foods, and then we can enjoy it together. I'm so sorry. I'm getting a call right now, so I'll talk with you in a little bit. Once I'm off the phone, I'll come right home and we can spend the rest of the day together, okay?
Hey! This is your dang daughter calling, so pick up the dang phone. People like you are so freaking slow.
What? Is that you, Zara? What do you want with me? It's been 2 years now since you last talked with me.
I have something I wanted to ask you, and that's why I've been trying to call you. What is this about you becoming my dad's boss? Since when did you get promoted to that position?
What?
I heard about this from Dad. He told me that his new boss turned out to be you, of all people. Was he being serious?
Wait a second. What do you mean I'm his new boss? Your dad is a company director, is he not? So how could he have become one of my subordinates?
Dad went and quit his job at that last company. Then he went and helped out one of his friends start a new company.
What? Is that right?
But that company didn't end up doing so well, so it fell apart within a few months. So the only choice he had after that was to find a new job. He joined a new company, and that's when he found out you are his boss.
Now that you mention it, just last week a man in his early 50s entered the company and has started to work for us. But recently I've been out of the office, so I had no clue who it was. Could that man really be your father?
Why the hell is someone as weak as you in a position to be calling yourself my dad's boss? There is something completely messed up about that. Back when you got married to my dad, all you were was some simple office worker, right?
Back when I married your father, I was really worried about you, so I couldn't focus on my job all too much. There were plenty of times your school would call me in the middle of my workday and ask me to come get you, so I was never able to stick around long enough to gain the company's trust. But once you allowed your father and I to get that divorce, I was able to put all of my time and energy into work, and that's really helped me out a ton. And since then, I've received plenty of promotions.
Huh? I don't care how much time and effort you've been able to spend on work. You should not be my dad's boss. How could you do something like that in only 2 years?
And that is why I really appreciate this company a whole bunch. A lot of the other employees here have all praised me for the work I've put in, which has led to all of my promotions. Of course, me being very weak-minded and worried all the time, I never wanted to make any mistakes and would take a lot of time double-checking and triple-checking all of my work. And over time, I was able to perfect triple-checking everything, and that efficiency soon led to me being very fast and precise. Because of that, it didn't take long for me to find my way into the position I have now.
So you're telling me you're lucky for being so worried all the time? Tell me how much you're making every year. You're my dad's boss after all. So that means you have to make around $100,000 every year, right?
What?
Come on now, tell me how much you're making every year. Do you have $100,000 on you right now? Are you still poor? Tell me.
I am making more than $100,000 a year.
All right then. If that's the case, then I think things can turn out all right for me. From now on, I'll make an important offer to come out and see you again.
What?
You haven't been able to meet my dad or I since the divorce, right? And I'm sure as my mom, never being able to meet me for the last 2 years has been hell, right? So I'll be kind to you this time and allow you to meet me once a month. What do you think? I bet you're so happy to hear this great news, right?
What's gotten into you? Why would you want to meet me now of all times? You hated me so much before that you kicked me out of the house and the family, right?
I sure did hate you that much, but if you have money now, things have changed. Because of Dad's stupidity letting all his money go to waste on that failed company, we don't have much money at all. Now I can never go out and see my friends, and I have to sit around the house all day with nothing to do.
What? You're not working at all right now? Last year was your last year of high school, right?
You think I'd really want to do something as boring as work? This is why I'm asking you to support me financially now, please and thank you. In order to come and see me, you have to pay a fee of $1,000 every time.
$1,000?
You're making over $100,000 a year now, so $1,000 should be nothing to you, right? You were forced into a divorce and had to lose both your husband and your daughter, right? I bet every day since then you've been so lonely and depressed. If you want to see your cute little daughter again, you have to pay me $1,000. I'm her only daughter, though. What? To Marie, the only cute little daughter she has is me. I don't think she has any other daughter that's worth spending $1,000 to go and see. So would you please stop talking to my mom like that? Huh? Who the hell are you? I'm Marie's daughter. Your mom went and married my dad just last year. So that makes her my mom now and no longer yours. And that means I'm her only daughter now. Huh? What do you mean she married your dad? I've never heard anything about that. Well, of course you never heard anything about it because you're not our family. I heard all kinds of stories from Marie about how she had to suffer through hell with the last family. But who would have thought that last family would be coming back asking her to pay them in order to see them again? You guys, and especially you, are far more toxic than I had first imagined. You? Who the hell do you think you are, talking to me like that? You aren't even related to my mom by blood, so shut your dang mouth. I will not sit here and listen to some little girl that was dragged into my mom's life by her daddy. But I'm the one sharing the same last name with her. So who cares that you both share the same blood? When you look at your family registry, you are no longer Marie's daughter, which means you are nothing to her now. You can use the excuse of being related to her by blood all you want, but to the US government, you are nothing but a stranger to her now. Huh? By the way, you can't use your blood relationship to her as any form of an excuse, since you went and kicked your own mother at the time out of her house. You're the one that wanted to cut ties to her, so stop trying to act like you have any say in her life now. If you cared so much about things like being related by blood, then why did you kick her out in the first place? What the hell? I want to know what you think you're doing talking to me like that. I will not listen to a bratty little creep like you just because you have a mom that makes over $100,000 a year. I never chose her to be my mother because of the money she makes. She's a very kind woman and someone I can view as a role model. My dad is also really happy with her, which in turn makes me really happy as well. That's why the three of us got together and I was asked if I wanted her to be my mother. And I said yes. You can't just become a family over a little discussion like that. I am related to that woman by blood, and I know deep down my mom wants to meet me right now. I bet you and your dad only want her to be your family for the money that she's making. Don't think you can call yourself her family over such a stupid reason as that. What did you say? I know she doesn't want to be your family because she should want to come back to me. I'm sure she'd love to pay $1,000 to come and be with me again. That's just the amount of love my mom has for me because she's my real mom.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to ever see your snarky ass ever again. And I'm not too sure I'm your real mother either.
What?
So would you shut your damn mouth and stop saying such horrible things to my daughter? I'm very upset with you right now, and if you say one thing more to her, I'm going to find you and make you wish you never had any fingers that allowed you to text. But that would tire me out having to go out and deal with you again. So leave us be and go back to the miserable life you found yourself in now.
You don't want to see me. What? Is this you again, Mom?
This is me again, Zara. I just got my phone back from my daughter. She was getting so frustrated that I was worried she'd break my phone. She's that kind of person when she gets upset after all.
Wait, Mom? You're joking about not wanting to see me again, right? I'm your real daughter after all. It would be extremely screwed up of you to not want to see the daughter you worked so hard for ever again, right?
I'm alright with it being screwed up. I don't want to see something that I don't want to see. The only one who wants to meet here is you, and that's only because you want my money.
What?
If that's the case, you should be paying me to have me come out and see you. I'd be the one having to spend my valuable time with someone I could care less about seeing. And honestly, that time would be better spent with family or at work. So if you'd like, I'll be the one to allow you to meet with me for only $2,000. So what's it gonna be, Zara?
Wait a sec. What's going on here? There's something off about you now. What happened to my mom? You're supposed to be quiet and reserved all the time, right?
You want the mom that's always worried and weak-minded, right? Let me ask you this. What happened to Zara? The one who always acted like she was the queen and like everyone should be working for her.
I'm
still that worried and weak-minded woman I've always been. However, thanks to there being luck on my side, I began to learn how to deal with my weaknesses. But that doesn't mean I'm not worried anymore. I still do fear a lot of things, and those things do make me quiet. But right now, I have someone that I need to protect, and that's why I'm stepping up and making sure they do not get hurt. And that someone is my important little daughter, who I will not allow to be hurt by some monster that thinks they can pull a fast one on my family. She's crying right now because she's so upset, and seeing that makes me want to find and strangle you.
What has happened to you? I don't care that you've grown a little. You should not be a completely different person right now.
Seeing someone I love being hurt has drawn out the beast I kept inside. I understand more than anyone that normally I'm very reserved and worried about everything. But at times like this, I will throw all of that away and become a monster myself. So what was it again? You think that I'm so lonely right now that I'd pay $1,000 to meet you? Screw that. My money only goes to one place, and that's my family. Why the hell would I ever give up $1,000 to some bratty adult just because they think I want to meet with them?
Did you just call me a bratty adult? Why would you ever say something like that about me? We are your family, right? Dad and I.
You are not my daughter, and your dad is nothing more to me than a ghost of my past. You are both strangers to me now, and I will never, ever have you calling me Mom again. My name is Marie, so you better start calling me that, you freak.
What?
If you're in that much of a need for money, how about you get up off your ass and do some work? I get that you choose to be a NEET after graduating high school instead of getting a job or going to college, but I will not have you using your inability to grow the hell up as an excuse for getting money out of me. Now don't ever talk to me again.
Hey, Mom, could you take a couple of minutes to listen to what I have to say now? Right now, the both of us are really in trouble.
Who's this mom you're talking about? And whatever happened to me saying never talk to me again? I get that you never went to study or anything, but you should at least be able to understand a little bit of English, right?
Please stop being such a jerk right now. We are really in some deep trouble at the moment. If we don't get some help now, we won't be able to keep the house we're in anymore, and we will have to become homeless.
Fantastic. And I care why.
You already heard the news, right? That Dad went and quit his job now because he couldn't stand you being his boss? Well, he didn't have any other job lined up before quitting, so now he's jobless too.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear after he came into my office cursing and cussing before he told me he was quitting.
But we already didn't have much money, yet now he's completely jobless. This can't be happening to us. So please, you only have to give us a little bit. Just give us a little bit of money. At least $500 a month would help.
I'm fine giving homeless people some money whenever I come by them, because most of the time, they're trying their best to get back the life they once had. But you and your father, I can't see any reason to want to help two jack-offs who don't do anything besides sit around and do nothing. If things are that bad for you both, then get a job, you freeloader.
How am I supposed to get a job now, though? There is not one place that will hire a high school dropout like me.
What? So you dropped out, huh?
You think I was going to be able to graduate after skipping my whole senior year? I was told to leave that school halfway through my last year.
So you were pretty much expelled then?
All because of my friends that I had at the time. They would always tell me things like, we can't get arrested because we're under 18 and all that. But one day we were all drinking some vodka out by the side of the road when a cop drove by and saw us. He went and took all of us in his cop car and drove us to the police station to have us all arrested. And when they sat us down to ask where all of that alcohol came from, those assholes all blamed me.
Nice.
I was thinking that everyone would be fine because I was still young and going to a private school. But the school had already gone through with all the paperwork to have me expelled, and the officer told me that being 17 years old, I should be responsible for my own actions. I know that I was kind of living a trashy life, but I didn't expect things to go so far. Anyway, right now I've been asked by those guys to go and join them at their part-time job, but I know something is wrong with the work that they're doing, so I can't go and join them. But they all know that I need money right now, and I know I need it as well.
I'm sure whatever it is they're doing isn't okay, so you should say no to them right away.
But they told me if I say no to them, I'll be screwed for the rest of my life. And since they still think of themselves as my friends, they won't let my life be screwed up, so if I say no, they will come and force me to work for them. They keep asking me why I wouldn't want to work with them when we've all been friends for so long. They all know no place else will want to hire me, so I have to go and work with them now. They all want to help me, but I don't want their help.
Looks to me like you've gotten yourself into quite the predicament. If you don't cut them out of your life soon, you're going to have some serious hell to pay. I understand that things were different when you were a teen, but you're an adult now, and you need to start thinking things through seriously. The world is a very tough place, so you have to choose between working with them and making bad money, or saying no and hoping they don't kidnap you.
That is why I'm asking for your help now. I want to get away from all of them, and I need money to do so. I promise to find a proper job afterwards. So please just give Dad and I a little money to turn our lives around.
Nope. I already told you that my money is only meant for my family. You're both strangers. And not just strangers, but two idiots who threw me out of your lives. So there's nothing I have to do in order to help you both now.
No way.
Now, I'm sure life isn't going to be very fun for you from now on, but that's none of my business. I tried my best to help you back when you should have been going to school and preparing yourself for a life where you wouldn't have to do sketchy jobs in order to make money. But you wanted to be friends with those dangerous kids, and you wanted to skip school to go out and drink with them. And now that you're an adult, you have to learn how to take responsibility for all of your actions, and stop whining to those who have nothing to do with you at all. I'll be going now, and from here on out, please do not talk to my family or I ever again. It seems that Zara was able to get herself away from the group of dangerous young adults, and is now working at a convenience store close to her house. But a lot of those people she left were not happy with her running away, and when they found out where she was working, started to come in and cause all sorts of problems inside the store. Because of them always saying it was her asking them to come in and causing issues, she was fired. And the next job she'd find, she'd get fired from as well because of that group. A long and tiring cycle began for her of being fired, finding a new job, and being fired again because of those delinquents. As for my ex-husband and the life he was now having to suffer through, he was finally able to find himself a new job. However, this new job paid him even less, and he had to work even more to be able to keep paying the bills of his place. He can no longer enjoy the kind of life he once had, and now has to focus on going to work all day and coming home only to sleep a few hours before going back to work. When it comes to myself, I have the luxury of living in a family who truly does love me, where we can all be happy together.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey, Jerry, where are you right now? You need to pick up the phone or at least send me a message telling me where you are right now. I mean, don't you remember that we were supposed to introduce our families to each other today? I thought I told you that this was really important and that you can't be late to this.
Oh, wait. You mean today was the day that we were supposed to bring both our families to the same place so that they could all meet each other for the first time since you and I are going to be getting married now that you and I are engaged?
That's right, we even talked about all of this yesterday, didn't we? I told you that I had arranged for it to happen today around lunch. Don't you understand how important this is for us as a couple? This is when our parents are supposed to meet for the first time now that you and I are engaged to be married. I mean, both of our sets of parents are here already. We're at the French restaurant where I made the reservations that I told you about yesterday, too.
Oh, I see. Well, shoot, I really am so sorry about this, Lisa. But I'm afraid I just won't be able to make it there today to meet everyone. So anyways, really sorry about that, but if you could tell everyone that we'll do this later, that would be great. Thanks a lot, Lisa.
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not going to be able to make it to the reservations that I made for our parents to be able to meet for the first time? You really think this was something so easy to put together that we can just do it another time or something like that?
Look, I really don't want to have to be dealing with all of this right now, okay? I mean, I literally just woke up right now. I guess I drank more than I really thought last night, and I ended up sleeping in quite a bit. So anyways, I'm really hungover and don't need this from you right now.
Hold on a second. You were drinking last night and you drank so much that you slept in this late and are now hungover? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's right. My boss invited some people from the office out to grab a couple of drinks. So that is who I was going out to drink with last night when I ended up drinking too much. I mean, you can understand the situation that I was in when that happened, right? You can't just tell your boss that you don't want to go out drink with him, right? But anyways, my boss is also a really strong drinker, so I guess he must have been pouring me drinks, or maybe I was just trying to keep up. I really don't remember it all at this point. But anyways, all of that is to say that this is why I'm only waking up now, around noon today, hungover from drinking yesterday.
You have got to be kidding me. I really just can't believe that you would do something like this, Jerry. I mean, how could you do this to me on the day when our families were supposed to meet for the first time since you and I got engaged to be married to each other?
Well, I really don't know what else you want me to say. My head is pounding, my body is sore, and I'm just not going to be able to make it down there. And so anyways, like I said earlier in a message that you read, if you just scroll up a little bit, could you please tell everyone that we will just have to do this thing at another time when I'm feeling better and not so hungover from drinking the night before?
You really think that I can just tell that to both our parents and that they'll be fine with it? You do know that my parents had to fly across the country just to be here for this, right? And now you're telling me to tell them that they won't be able to meet my fiancé because he got too drunk last night and can't make it?
I mean, I don't know what else you would tell them. After all, it is the truth, isn't it? Besides, do you really think that your parents would want to meet me in the state that I'm in right now?
Well, the least you could do is come to the restaurant where we're all waiting for you and apologize to everyone for wasting their time today. So hurry up, wash the smell of booze off yourself, and get over here right now, Jerry.
Lisa, come on. You can't really be serious, right? Do you really want me to do something like that?
I mean, I really don't care if you come over here smelling like all the booze you drank. The least you could do is explain to our parents why you weren't able to be here at the time we all agreed to meet. You need to tell them yourself because I am not going to cover for you when you behave like this.
Oh, come on. You know I can't do that. That would be so embarrassing. Besides, if I showed up there late and smelling like booze and apologizing for wasting everyone's time, that would make a terrible impression. You really think that I'm just going to willingly walk into a trap like that? No way.
So then you're really just not going to show up at all? You're just going to make us all wait here?
And if I am, what are you going to do about it, huh? It's not like you're just going to not marry me. But you really did have me going, asking me to go all the way over there just to apologize to our parents? Although, to get more serious, you should really know better if you're going to marry me. I can't have a wife who acts the way that you're acting today.
Excuse me? Did you really just send that message? Who do you think you are, and what do you think gives you the right to say that?
The right? What are you talking about? I have all the power here. We both know that canceling our engagement will put you in more trouble than it would me. I mean, you're already in your mid-30s, aren't you? Do you really think that anyone but me would marry you at this point? You really ought to consider yourself lucky that a young man like me wants anything to do with you at all in the first place. But I also know that you don't have any better options than me.
Do you really believe that? Please tell me that is not how you think of our relationship. That is just too much.
There you go again, thinking that you can whine and complain to me when I'm already doing you a favor by marrying you. Like I said, you need to wake up and realize where you stand with all of this. And that includes right now. So just drop all this business about missing today. If I have to hear about this again, I really will call off our engagement and nobody is ever going to want to marry you again. Got it?
Please, Jerry, don't you think that you're taking this just a little too far right now?
Oh, trust me. It's not that I don't see why I'm in the wrong for being too drunk to attend our parents' first time meeting each other. But I'm telling you that I'm just in no shape to go, and that is that. So anyways, like I have said twice now in messages that you can see if you, again, scroll up in this conversation that we have been having right now, I will have to ask you to tell our parents that we will have to do this at another time. Surely they can understand that humans forget stuff from time to time and that being a little late or missing a date here and there isn't the end of the world.
I can tell them that if you really want me to, but I don't think it's going to go the way that you think it will.
Yeah, right. I know what I'm talking about. Please don't try and question my decision making. I mean, do you really think that I'll go on to regret missing one little lunch reservation? Anyways, I'm still pretty beat, so I think I'm going to catch up on my beauty sleep right now. So anyways, tell our parents that I said hi and that I'm sorry I won't be able to make it. I have been furious about what happened ever since last night. This really is just absolutely ridiculous. I can't accept it. I refuse to.
I know, Dad, and I really am so sorry about yesterday. I know that you and Mom came all the way from Washington just to be here. And now the lunch reservations, the meetup, the talking about the wedding, it's all going to have to be put off now.
And it's all thanks to that man of yours. Just what in the world was he thinking? I mean, did he seriously think that him being hungover was an acceptable excuse for missing something like this? Did he think that that wouldn't make him look awful in our eyes? I think anyone can love whoever they want to love within reason. But I really just can't see what you see in this man if this is the way that he behaves, Lisa. Did you know that Jerry hasn't even sent us a message or called us to apologize for his last-minute cancellation at lunch yesterday?
Well, I'm sure he's just feeling really bad and can't get to his phone right now to send anything. I guess he ended up going out with his boss, who is a bit of a drinker, so I think that he was having a really long night the other day.
Hey, I get that. I've been there. But there's a time to mess around and drink, and get so hungover that you sleep half the day away. There were other times when your parents and future in-laws get together to meet for the first time. That any responsible adult would realize is really important. I didn't know if his parents raised him differently, but he can't just do whatever he wants and thinks that he can get away with it or that nobody will care. He's acting like a complete ass. And you know, I've heard the way that he talks to you too. He makes fun of you for being older all the time and teases you about not being able to find anyone else who will marry you. But what kind of way is that for a man to talk to his future wife? It's just horrible. It's completely disrespectful.
I know, Dad. I just didn't think that that's how we would act around me after he and I got engaged to each other.
But that's not it. He probably didn't even realize that we weren't just all about to go home or something. We sat through lunch waiting for him, ate our food, ordered drinks, and he still didn't have the nerve to show up or offer to pay you back with a meal.
Right, well, originally when we made the plan, we said that we were going to be splitting the bill for all the food. But I guess since he never showed up, that's how I ended up having to pay for all of the food and drinks that we ordered while waiting for him to show up.
This really is just unacceptable. And why are you defending him? Why aren't you more upset with the fact that your fiancé has been treating you like this? I really don't know how I would react if someone who I was supposed to marry was treating me with that much disrespect. Lisa, I'm very, very sorry to say this, but I just don't think I can approve of you marrying a guy like this. He just isn't good for you. I know it.
It's okay, Dad. I understand what you mean. In fact, I want you to know that I agree with you. He isn't good enough for me.
What do you mean? You agree with me? You don't want to marry Jerry anymore? Is that what you're saying?
I mean that I am really grateful for you being so angry for me over this, Dad. It really means a lot that you care so much about my future and who I'm with. I know that I've kept you and Mom waiting for me to get married for a long time now. I've been so concentrated on school and work that I've hardly had time to date. And when I finally got my first boyfriend ever, Jerry, I guess I just got so wrapped up in the excitement that I really wasn't thinking in the long term at all. But he's right. An immature boy like that really shouldn't be marrying an educated career woman such as myself. Especially not if he's going to disrespect not only me, but my parents as well as his own by pulling that kind of stunt that he did yesterday.
So then, what does that mean? Are you going to call off your engagement to him or something like that?
That's right. Or at least, I think that's what I want to do. But I also know that you and Mom have been waiting a long time for me to find someone who I want to settle down with. I just don't want to let either of you down by breaking off my engagement.
Lisa, please. You don't need to worry about your mom or I and how you choose to deal with this. What your mom and I care about is seeing you happy and healthy. That's what always should come first before anything else.
Dad, do you really mean that? I don't know what to say. That's just what I needed to hear right now.
Like you said, Jerry doesn't deserve someone as smart or accomplished as you, and we all can see that. There are plenty of other, better men out there for you. You are the apple of your mom and I's eye. And we want to see you out there living the life that you want to live. Not for us, but for yourself. So don't worry about your engagement to this jerkwad Jerry. The right person will come. You just have to give it time.
Thank you so much, Dad. You really are amazing. And I'm so lucky to have parents like you and Mom. By the way, you are still going to be in town tomorrow, right? Because I was thinking that I could take the day off of work and you, Mom, and I could go and play tourist around the city. I just really want to apologize for the mess yesterday and also make sure I see more of you and Mom before you go back home.
That would be amazing. It's been so long since the three of us have gotten to go out and do something like a family. I think your mom would really love to have family day as well.
Well, then it's decided. I can go and meet you by the market near where you guys are staying. I'll pick you up first thing tomorrow, so just be ready around there and I'll think of places to take you both.
Hey, Lisa, are you there? You and I have to talk about something right now. Get back to me once you see these messages, okay? I was just wondering when we were going to have our parents meet each other since I had to cancel the last time that we were supposed to. I have some days this month that should be able to work for that to happen if this month is good for you.
What are you talking about? Why are you sending this to me, Jerry?
Well, I thought that we said that we were going to reschedule our parents' meeting, right? I was thinking that we could make another reservation at a nice restaurant for them, right? Of course, you can handle all the planning and stuff like that. But I would really like it if you could choose a steakhouse or something like that this time instead of a lame French place like you did for the last one.
Why would I do that if you're just going to cancel at the very last minute like you did last time? Why would I waste the energy and effort to plan something like that? Besides, I'm pretty sure that at this point our parents wouldn't care if they met at a buffet at this point.
Whoa, wait a second. Don't tell me that you're still all mad about the last time that we tried to get our families together, but I had to cancel at the very last minute. Come on, I told you that I wasn't able to go. I was in no state to go out to a fancy lunch or anything like that. Besides, if you're this mad all the time, you're just going to give yourself even more wrinkles, Granny. You really do need to learn to let things go. I would have thought that you would have learned that lesson at this point in your life.
Excuse me? Just what is that supposed to mean, huh? Did you really just send that message to me? I can't believe you would say those things to me.
I promise that if we do schedule another meetup that I won't drink the night before. Or at the very least, I promise not to be hungover for the meeting the next day. So anyways, could you please just hurry up and make some reservations somewhere for this month? I mean, if you don't do this, then I guess I should take it as a sign that you really don't want to marry me and then we might just have to cancel this whole thing.
There you go again, trying to threaten me by saying that you'll cancel our engagement.
Oh, come on. Threat is such a strong word. I'm just letting you know of the alternatives that I have if you don't do what I say is all. I mean, you're the one who still hasn't woken up to where you stand in all of this. You don't really have any room to be complaining about anything. You're just an old lady who was lucky to have me marrying her, and you should be thankful that I've even stuck around this long. So, I really think you should rethink this attitude of yours that you have right now. I thought I already told you that if I heard about that dinner again, that I'd seriously have to reconsider this wedding. So if you're really okay breaking this off and me leaving you, then I guess you should just keep this up because that's where we're headed.
Oh, that's fine with me. We can call off the engagement. I don't really care anymore.
Wait, what? What do you mean? You don't know what you're saying. You really want to cancel our engagement?
Well, yeah, I just don't really think that I want to marry you anymore. I guess there's just not the spark that there once was. In fact, come to think of it, I really don't even know why it was that I wanted to marry you in the first place. But anyways, now that I don't really feel anything for you anymore, I think we should just break up.
Whoa, wait. Hold on for just one single second here. I mean, where's this coming from all of a sudden? I thought you loved me and wanted to marry me. Don't you realize how hard it's going to be to find another boyfriend after me? And that's setting aside the question of you ever finding someone else who would want to marry you.
You know, you seem awfully hung up on my age. You seem to really think that after you turn 30, your life is just all downhill and there's no hope. That's why you didn't even care that you were canceling last minute on both of our families and your fiancé. You thought that I had no other choice but to deal with your actions. But if you think that treating me that way makes me want to be married to you at all, then you are dead wrong, Jerry.
So then you're actually truthfully saying that you want to break things off with me? I don't believe this. I mean, I just don't even know what to say right now. Does the fact that you're so old and will never be able to find another person who wants to marry you not upset you? You're engaged to someone younger than you, and you're just going to walk away from that?
That's right, I am walking away from you and there is nothing you can do about it. I wanted to marry you because I thought that we would be able to treat each other with respect. But if you're going to act like you're doing me some big favor by marrying me, then I just don't want anything to do with you.
Oh man, you have seriously got to be kidding me right now. I can't believe that I'm being talked to this way by some old grandma right now. If this is really how you want to do this thing, then let's break up. But just know that since you're breaking off the engagement, I'm going to sue you for this. Are you ready to have to pay for acting like you're better than the young man who was ready to marry an old granny like you?
Excuse me? And just why in the world do you think that I would have to pay you anything at all, huh?
Well, it is like I just said in the last message that I sent to you. Since you are the one breaking off the engagement, you're the one liable to be sued by me. And since you're older than me, I'm sure that you make way more money than I do right now. I'm thinking of asking around $50,000.
Are you kidding me right now? You think that I am going to pay you that much money for breaking off our engagement?
Well, I'm a young man and you've been wasting my youth. Do you think that was going to be cheap? Not only that, but you were having me waste my youth on an over-the-hill granny like yourself. So you need to take responsibility for your actions and reimburse me for all the years of my life. That's why you should be lucky that I'm only asking for $50,000. But I won't take a cent less.
You really are crazy if you think that this is how our breakup is going to happen. If anything, I'll be the one suing you for that $50,000 you keep talking about. After all, I know that you've been cheating on me, and that's the real reason why I don't want to marry you anymore.
Excuse me? What did you just say? You really think that I've been having an affair behind your back? Are you serious right now?
Oh, please, don't try to lie to me or cover up your tracks now, Jerry. I've seen the truth with my own eyes. I saw you walking around town with your arm around some other woman's shoulders. In fact, the day I saw you was the day that our families were supposed to meet. You really are just the worst. Do you know that?
Wait, hold on just a second there. What do you mean you saw me? Where did you see me with this other woman?
Sorry, not that day our parents were supposed to meet, but the next day. I offered to take my parents out for a day on the town to make up for you not showing up. I drove past the hotel they were staying in and saw you and this other woman walk right in the building as if you were guests. I know it was you, and you had your arm around some young-looking thing with a big grin over your face. It was so obvious what was happening.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You really did have some nerve choosing to stay in the same hotel that my parents were. But thankfully, that meant that it was that much easier to get the photo evidence that I needed. Not only that, but after you went into the hotel and after I dropped off my parents, I went back home and went through your laptop.
Wait, what? Why on earth did you do that? What is the matter with you?
Well, I found your vacation plans for you and your little girlfriend. I also know that wasn't the first night you had stayed in that hotel. You didn't even go out drinking with your boss. It was just that you and this other woman stayed up late doing who knows what. You've been seeing her behind my back for a long, long time now, haven't you, Jerry?
Wait, no, Lisa, you got this all wrong, I swear. This really isn't what it looks like.
And just why would I listen to you after you've done nothing but put me down and make me feel like a burden? You were always using my age against me and making me feel like I had no other options in life than you. I should have known that I was being foolish, but then you had the nerve to cheat on me? Well, that was the last straw for me. I finally woke up to how you were treating me and knew that you and I were done. So anyways, keep an eye out for a letter from my lawyer. That should have all the information about the lawsuit that I'm about to serve you with.
Lisa, what is the meaning of this? Are you really going to try and sue me for $60,000? This is outrageous. What happened to the $50,000?
Well, this is the number that I came to after talking to my lawyer and my parents. In fact, my dad said that I should be suing you for 10 times the amount. He was so upset with you.
10 times that? That's just crazy talk. Come on, you can't seriously expect to get this much money from me. The most I could even pay you was something like $10,000 at the absolute maximum.
And just why do you think that I would settle for such a little sum, huh?
Oh, come on. You're already into your 30s, and you really didn't think that you were going to be cheated on? I'm sorry, but if you didn't see that coming, then that's on you. You're the one who ruined this whole thing by being so old and useless, so I really don't see why I should have to pay you at all. Like I said, you are the one that should have to pay for me calling off for our engagement, for a stupid reason like me sleeping around.
Jerry, you really do know how to run your mouth, do you know that? But the law is quite clear, and I am well within my rights to be suing you for that amount.
Oh, come on. There's no way that the law says that some old hag can sue a younger fiancé for that much money just for sleeping around. You do realize that this is going to blow up in your face, don't you?
Are you sure about that? If you really want to negotiate how much your affair should cost you, that is going to have to be between you and the judge, I think.
Lisa, come on, you can't do this to me. Don't you realize that I still have my whole life ahead of me? I'm not some old person like you who wasted their whole life studying and working. I was too busy enjoying my youth to have the kind of funds saved up to pay the amount that you're going to be asking for. You have to see how ridiculous all this is, right?
You seem to be so obsessed with your own youth that you really don't think you can do any wrong. Do you now realize that being youthful also comes with the chances to make all kinds of mistakes through your inexperience? But just because you're young doesn't mean that you won't receive any punishments for the mistakes that you make. Besides, you're not a child, you're an adult, and you should have known better. But don't worry, thankfully for you, you're still young. And that means that you'll have plenty of time to waste your life working to pay off all of the debt that you're going to go into to pay for these lawsuits.
Wait, no, Lisa, please. You can't do this to me. I don't have to settle down and find a real job yet. I was going to be young forever by marrying you. You were supposed to be the adult with the job and the money, and I was going to use it all to be young forever while you stayed at home like the grandma that you are. Don't you get that you ruined my life for doing this? Doesn't that upset you at all? You're just jealous because you just wasted your youth while I revel in mine. You can't do this to me.
In the end, my lawyer sent a letter explaining all of the details of my lawsuit against him for his affair while he and I were engaged. Jerry called me and begged and pleaded with me to stop this, but I told him that my old age must have made me quite stubborn because I had no intention of showing him any mercy. Jerry had to go deep into debt to afford all of the fees that he had to pay, not just to me, but to his lawyer as well. I also owned the house where Jerry and I were living, so he was forced to move out and find a place for himself to live in. Given all the debt he was in, he had no choice but to move into a tiny little apartment. He is still working the same job, but I heard he's also picked up some side gigs to work on the weekend just to make enough to get by. I would feel bad for putting Jerry in such a tough spot, but It's like I said to him, he has his whole life to be paying off his debts. As for me, I've put in my hard work and I can't be wasting my life with foolish boys like him. Jerry may have his youth, but he's going to be spending it all paying for the mistake he made while cheating on me. Meanwhile, I've dedicated enough of my life to working and studying. I think I'm going to take the money I got from Jerry and go do things I've always wanted to try. After all, you only live once.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.